bullshit news.
That's why Duggan is the mayor. People didn't go out and vote.
I was trying to find out if he was living in the mansion, which Charlie told me he wasn't, so I put a private eye to find out if he was.
No bullshit news.
It's a big corruption umbrella. Okay. And what he is there's white justice and black justice.
I could live 10,000 lifetimes and never live up to the name of the Honorable Coleman Young.
It's hard when we pay our taxes, our property taxes and everything, and it gets turned around and put into for development profit.
No bullshit news.
Let's take her out of the next intro. She's boring.
All right, we'll update that.
All right, Bobby. It's Wolfman Bob Shadowbauer. Hey, Karen Dumas.
Hey, Charlie LeDuff.
And I would say hey to Silent Joe the mannequin over there, but he waved. I wasn't sure if that was a sheen of dust from last week. So on this week's show, it's jam-packed. It's making me nervous.
It's officially summer, so it's hot.
What do you mean it's hot?
That was good, Bob.
I don't know.
What the hell was that? What does that mean? It's not even hot outside.
The show is hot.
The show is hot.
Oh, jeez. You got a career in rock radio, dude.
Good.
Anyway, coming up on today's show, Jon Stewart went ballistic and viral this week with the shaming of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who failed to act to extend the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund that pays out claims for death and illness related to the attack, and it's running out. So joining us today is my old friend, Marion Fontana, a widow of firefighter Dave Fontana, who died that day, and who was among the initial people that drove to the establishment of this fund. Old friend of mine.
That should be interesting,
I
Charlie.
covered Ground Zero majority of days that year.
And it's never left you.
Oh, I was talking about it. We had a charity lunch today. A listener to Drew and us, and real cool dude, psychiatrist. And I'm fucked up over it. I know what everybody thinks. Like, just get over it. Life moves on, and it does move on, but
it ain't that easy.
But you take it with you as well.
Look, it's more than just first responders. Jon Stewart's really representing first responders. But I'm going to be honest with you. The people that did the majority of that work every day were iron workers and operating engineers who, the bulldozers and the backhoes and the laborers.
They're cleaning it up, guys.
I don't remember in that pile seeing a urinal or a toilet or a doorknob. They got obliterated. They were vaporized. That was all in the air. And we'd just be down there working, looking, smoking cigarettes. Reporters, a couple of us were there, photographers. So Marion will join us. And it always brings, I guess that's why I'm feeling fucked up today.
You're entitled, Charlie. Go ahead.
Also, the southern border is swamped with migrants trying to get in the U.S. in numbers never seen before. So our old friend Chris Cabrera with the National Border Patrol Council is going to give us his view from the ground. And Chicken Joe the intern riled up the barnyard this week at the ethics trial of Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri.
He did rile him
up.
Bob,
you listened to the footage.
He riled him up good.
Did he?
Joe's getting better, though.
He is.
He's listening, Charlie.
I think Joe's the only reporter even covering that.
Yeah.
Somebody may try to steal him from you, Charlie.
I hope so. I hope, because that's the point. Because anybody with a heart can do the job, right? You have some brains in the heart.
And no fear.
That's especially it. And you know who you're working for.
It's true. The people. That's it.
It's kind of getting lost, isn't it? But first, let me tell you about American Coney Island. How about that? Nice segue. Celebrating 102 years, it is Detroit's oldest family-run restaurant and birthplace of the famous Detroit Coney dog with chili, mustard, and Vidalia onions. And it's my personal favorite. That's no bullshit. You want a dog before you go to the ball game? Head down to the corner of Lafayette and Michigan Avenue. Can't miss it. It's the red, white, and blue building, shaped like a slice of pie, smack dab in the middle of downtown. Always delicious, always open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The dogs snap when you bite them, and the chili is a 100-year-old family recipe made especially for the American Coney dog, and the beer is cold. Visit Detroit's restaurant or the one in the D Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, or the Detroit Zoo, where they also sell beer.
They got beer at all of them.
You can order a Coney kit. Yeah, they got it in Vegas, dude. And
I would know that.
Probably hookers, too.
Oh,
Oh,
geez.
Charlie, don't say that.
I can say what I want. It's no bullshit. Order a Coney Island kit straight to your hooker's door or a friend's
Jesus.
door. Go to AmericanConeyIsland.com.
How about a hooker and a hot dog?
Hot dog!
Sounds like a promo to me.
Hot dog!
Grace, you can take that one.
Maybe you're a big-time city official who can travel with your entourage on the city's dime. Maybe you can hook up your girlfriend with government contracts or 12 dozen appointees making more than $100,000 a year.
Wow.
Yes, that is breaking news.
Wow.
But if you're not among the downtown elite who can make your pals' pockets fat off the taxpayer's back, you're going to have to provide for your own retirement and all of theirs as well, because I didn't even add in the benefits, Joey. We're broke, bro. If you have questions whether you're on the right track, if you don't want to be broke, I'm telling you for real, call financial specialist Luke Nowacki.
Call Luke.
I mean, for real. 248-663-4748. He kindly offered to pay for all of Joe's glasses.
Oh, great.
But
Very nice.
Matt Riley also offered to pay for
I was going to
Joe's
say, because I
glasses.
donated to that fund for the fundraiser that's coming up. So Joe will have 2 pair of glasses.
And the
That's
dear
fine.
listener sent $300 in for Joe's eyeglasses. So what we're going to do, dear
Oh,
listener,
thank you.
is Joe went on Facebook and said he's given up on love.
He's giving up on love.
Not because he never had it.
Oh, jeez.
So I think what we need to do
Get him a hooker and a hot
Get him a
dog.
hooker and a hot
is,
dog.
listen, if you would like, we're going to do a dating game for Joe. We're going to get him a date, take that $300,
And let him go to dinner.
take out a nice, woman.
Take it to American Coney Island.
Right on.
Well, that's more like a lunch. Okay, maybe that's better.
Have dinner. We'll have,
Or maybe
we'll have
starts
Grace
at
set up the
lunch.
table and, put candles like they do for Valentine's Day. It's a start. You don't want to spend your money on a first date if it doesn't work out.
It, yeah, it is Joe, and you want to be surrounded by lots of people. So listen, if you'd like to try out, if you want to do the Chicken Joe Bachelor show, you'd like to appear on the No Bullshit News Hour,
He's giving out conies instead
we'll
of roses.
bring 3 women in here, and Joe can ask some questions, and,
that
take
should be
ya.
fun.
Should we
That
do
would be fun.
I haven't asked Joe, but all right, go to my Facebook. What is my Facebook? Charlie LeDuff. Or go to my Twitter. I think
Charlie
it's-
LeDuff.
I think it's Charlie LeDuff. And if you'd like to,
I see a
be on the
pattern.
show, maybe go out on a date with Joe, see if it works out. Hit me up. He's got
Include a
$300
picture.
and some new glasses.
Include a picture and why you want to go out with Joe.
Do that again, Karen.
Include your photo, a real photo of you, not of what you like to look like, and why you want to go out with Joe. Why do you want to go out with Joe? Why is Joe appealing to you?
And we tape Fridays about 1 o'clock, so you have to be available. No bullshit.
Yep. That'll be fun.
That would be fun.
All right, we're going to do that. He's going to have new glasses. And don't forget a dead grandpa suit that's been dry cleaned. But I digress. Listen, grow your assets. From pension planning to college savings plans, your politicians are depending on you. That's Luke Nowacki, 248-663-4748.
Call Luke.
Security and investment advisory services offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Royal Alliance Associates, Inc. is separately owned, and other entities in our marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Royal Alliance Associates, Inc. All right, that's pretty good right there. So, we got Marion on the phone.
I'm here.
Hey, sweetie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, from across the planet that listen to this show, if you don't mind, Marion, I love you.
Nope.
And
I love you too.
and it's weeks like this past one where I get fucking surly. So Marion Fontana was president of the 9/11 Widows and Victims Association way back in the day in 2001.
Yeah.
I happened to meet her when they're going to close her husband, Dave. Dave died in 9/11 with, what was it, Marion, 343 firefighters?
343, and there were 12 in his firehouse, yeah.
Half the firehouse, thousands of other people, undocumented immigrants. A guy named Umberto. Wouldn't even know if it's his real name. He just gone. I went there, and there was Marion in all of her pain in Park Slope, Brooklyn, trying to keep the firehouse from being shut down. And Dave was the only guy in the firehouse that lived in the neighborhood. A very artistic couple, you two. A 5-year-old son named Aiden. Your wedding anniversary that day, wasn't it?
Yes, it was our 8th wedding anniversary.
And Marion was like, hell no, we're not closing it. Can I say, maybe I think more of you and our relationship than you to me, and that's fair, but
No, not so.
I remember partnering up, and I'm like, fuck no, you got the New York Times behind you, that's me. And off we went. And I would cover Ground Zero, and then I profiled Marion and Dave and his firehouse and her dear 5-year-old boy, Aiden.
That's right.
And then it came, then all of a sudden, through that, because you're going to hear her, she's very articulate, she grows into something, because we were all looking for somebody to rally around, who could lead. And Marion was the leader. And remember Marion, I'll leave it at this is the introduction. They took the gold out of there from Deutsche Bank. And then it wasn't going to be a recovery operation anymore. It was going to be a reclamation. Just dig it out and let's go. Remember?
Right, I do.
Do you remember calling me in tears and saying, what do we do?
Yes, I do. And I remember a lot of things, going to Fresh Kills where they were bringing everything and, and watching them sift through it. And, it was a disturbing time for sure.
So Marion got the widows together. Hey, fuck no, you don't fuck with the widows. And that stopped. And it became, a sacred place. Because she and everybody with her, I don't want to overdo it, Mary. It became and I don't know. You're talking about Fresh Kills and everything.
Yeah, it was. It was a group effort for sure. I can't take credit for all of it, but it was. A lot of families were upset, and we weren't getting a lot of clear information from any of the government officials or any of the people leading at that time. So suddenly I became kind of thrust into the role of communicating with all the families who wanted to know where their loved ones were and trying to get their loved ones recovered in any form. So, it was a crazy time, and it was an operation that went on for years. And, I think my last identification, meaning they notified me that they found some DNA of Dave, was only 8 years ago. So it went on for over 12 years.
What? They found some more DNA of him?
Yeah, I got 8 notifications in total. And as the, technology improved, they would sift through the material again, and they would find more stuff, which was great for families who had received nothing. They were able to recover, something for them as well. So that was really great for them because the technology improved so they could find more in the material that they still had. So,
but Marion, you said I'm sorry. You said for them it was great because they had nothing. What did that mean for you with the constant reminder that there's DNA now? There's more DNA several years later.
Well, it was very painful. So one of the things I was involved in was working with the medical examiners to try to formulate a plan because it was an unprecedented situation. Their protocol was to send a cop to the door of the family member who, when they found something, which obviously was ludicrous in this situation where parts were being found, small parts, and they would send a cop, and it was hard on the family, it was hard on the police officer. So we formulated a form for family members to fill out saying, do you want to wait for the entire recovery to be over and have one notification? Would you like to be notified every time?
Jesus.
Would you like not to be notified at all? Would you like your funeral director to be the only one? And so I actually chose my funeral director to just alleviate any pain for my family and myself. And, he would call. And then the crazy part was that I had to have it cremated. It didn't matter how small legal rules in New York City is, you have to pay for a cremation. So 8 times I had Dave cremated, whatever tiny part there was.
Can I ask you this, Mary? Because what I really...
Yeah.
I saw arms and heads and hands. And
yeah.
what really fucked me up was watching your little boy, Aiden, because the very first funeral for Dave, you didn't think, it was a couple months later, you didn't think you were going to find him. So you had the box, the empty box, and the salutes and the horses and the bagpipes. Yep. And the little boy was like, John Kennedy, right? And then they found him.
A little wilder, but yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's banging in the car.
A little more wriggly, yeah.
And then they found your husband. And then you had to explain that to the boy.
Yeah, on December. I remember it because I was in Hawaii with all the firefighter families. And it was the day before Pearl Harbor. And so it was I was with all the guys from Squad, my husband's company, and their wives, and very few of us had notifications at that point, and they contacted me in Hawaii. It was a very generous gift from the Department of Tourism in Hawaii that gave us an entire plane to shuttle the families over to Oahu and give us a break, and it was really nice, for the kids, for the families. And so now I get this notification, and all the guys are like, we better go back and have another funeral. And I said, no, I don't want to do that to you guys. They were all just, like, I saw them relaxing for the first time since 9/11. And so what we decided to do was go to the Pearl Harbor celebration or memorial, and that was our way of, commemorating Dave being found. But it was very intense. And then when I got back, we had another memorial for Dave for the parts recovered that we could bury. And so I felt grateful and a lot of gratitude, but I also felt guilty because a lot of the families, most of the families in my firehouse did not have anything recovered. So it was a very mixed emotion that I was having that day.
I'm thinking of Aiden. Okay, so that's 2, and then you took Dave to Ireland. That's 3. I think part of his ashes in Queens.
I scattered them everywhere. I think my funeral director thought I was nuts.
How's your kid doing? He's 23 now?
He's 23, and when people ask me how old he is, I say he just turned asshole.
All right.
Good guy.
That's an interesting age.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's actually living with my parents at the moment in Staten Island. Yes, and he's a musician, and he works in a music studio, and he's great. He's got long hair. He looks like you did when I met him.
Oh, he's really handsome and stuff.
Yeah, when I met, he's handsome and has a big braid down his back, just like you did when I met you.
You know what? I cut all my hair off after that. All the death hanging in it. Because that's when a plane flipped upside down and crashed into Rockaway, Queens. Like, what?
Yeah, right after.
Yeah, 6 weeks later.
Yep. October. Yep, that was crazy. I know these poor guys. I mean, and that's what's been so upsetting about this last week, because I just feel like they've just been hammered with so much pain, and that it's just kind of unrelenting. I mean, we're going on the 18th year now, and now all the guys who were doing the right thing, being down there digging for my husband and gave me the peace of finding him, are now dying themselves. So it's just really kind of an unrelenting, painful event.
Let me do this for those who, don't know what the whole John Stewart, who kind of, you've adopted him and he's adopted you. He wants a fund established through what? Like for the next 70 years for whoever may develop cancer or...
Yes, because this is going to continue.
Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead and just play a little bit of that, Bob, just for the listeners.
But damn, Senator, you're not good at this argument thing. Basically, we're saying you love the 9/11 community when they serve your political purposes. But when they're in urgent need, you slow walk, you dither, you use it as a political pawn to get other things you want, and you don't get the job done completely. And your answer to that charge is, yeah, duh.
So, he's talking about Senator Mitch McConnell. It got through the House, but it's all bottled up in the Senate. I think I know where you're at. But
everything is.
Yeah.
That's just the protocol now.
Yeah, but I mean, look, fuck, we can find money for anything unnecessary shit, tax cuts. We run into deficit. Why can't we honor the promise?
Because I think people have, moved forward and, or moved on or whatever you want to call it. And the country is just riddled with thousands of other problems. And I think we're all just kind of overwhelmed with the unrelenting issues. I can't even keep up without my head spinning. I'm like, wait, what did he do today?
Well, why don't they just, look, just do it. Because the way...
they don't... Yeah, I don't think Trump or his administration have any respect for the fire department. I've been saying that from day one, which is, of course, contentious since all the firemen voted for him. So it's, I've lost a lot of friends over this political divide. And what makes me really sad is, Charlie, the world came, America came together at that time.
Right.
There was no Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Tea Party. There was none of that. We were all on the same page. And
never forget, right?
Yeah, and it was an amazing feeling. I said, okay, something positive coming out of this tragedy. And I made friends with people I would never have made friends with that were very far right, because who cares when you've lost someone you love or people you love, and the right thing to do is to give these guys money. We can all agree on that. And that's what's unfortunate about this whole, this whole fight is that, Jon Stewart is left-wing. All the men he's working with are right-wing, and they're coming together to try to get legislation passed that is ethical. And that's what we need to do more of, because it's just infuriating to, see these sick guys having to wheel themselves into, Washington, D.C., the way we went down to D.C. all the time in our moment of grief. It's just maddening. It makes you pull your hair out.
Well, and it's I don't want to forget the working, because I was down there. I sometimes think I'm getting sick. I don't know.
Well,
I didn't.
Civilians get sick too. I mean, there were a lot of people down there.
Who do you think pushed the buckets and raised the cranes and sifted through this shit? It was civilians. What about them? They're heroes too.
I know.
Or you know what? Forget heroes. Heroes are the people that run into the damn building to pull people out.
Right. Well, that word's so contentious in general, because, I think people who work with special needs kids are heroes, and I think people do heroic things in their lives every day. So I think that word gets tossed around too easily, and, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that, because I think everybody has some of that in them.
I think our next generation of heroes, or our next definition of heroes, needs to be those elected officials who remove politics from taking care of people. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, how can anybody politicize this in any capacity? I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, or if you're under the table or dancing on top of it. I mean, I don't understand where politics plays a role in this discussion or decision at all.
It shouldn't.
Well, unfortunately, it's been from day one, because these men and women died on the most expensive piece of real estate in the world. And so from the get-go, there were politicians calling me up and knocking on my door, and I didn't even have an interest in politics. So it's been politicized from day one. They continue to politicize it. I mean, Trump announced his candidacy at the museum, which made me want to pull my hair out, because he took the tax breaks that were meant for small businesses down there and used it to build a tower, and got, all these kickbacks and taxes, tax breaks for it. And so he's, and he was never around after 9/11. So he's, just one of the many reasons why I find it frustrating that 9/11's just become such a political football for so many.
Let me ask you this. Let me just ask you this, and we'll wrap it up, and then we'll stay in touch, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
2021's coming. Your phone's going to go off the hook, Jesus. I was reading an essay by you. $1 a tier.
Really?
$1 a tier.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And just a little quote saying, because at first it was the widows, the widowers, the families, they were compensated for what might constitute your dead one's life's wages, basically trying to make sure you eat. And you
Right.
said, I hated being judged, envied, for being given something I never requested, she says. I just want to ask you, now we're talking about money and compensation and healthcare. Did you ever feel like it was blood money?
Oh, yes. I mean, I think I wrote in that same piece, it's like finding out you have stage 4 cancer and winning the lottery on the same day. I mean, it's very confusing and it's very upsetting. And I'm someone who always earned my own money. I was teaching at the time. I was a waitress. I drove cabs. I always made my own living, and I never expected anything for free. And so to get money for what felt like blood money was very difficult to wrap my head around. And what I saw it do, essentially, and it's not that I'm ungrateful, I'm very grateful that I have Dave's pension to live on, but what it did is divide a lot of families and a lot of people in a way that I never anticipated and never could possibly anticipate. Because I would want, if your family died in a plane crash, I would want you to be compensated and comfortable and not suffer any more than you already have. And unfortunately, not everybody feels that way. And money, money divides. I don't think it unites.
Can you do this
then?
then?
Our countries.
Yes.
What?
Real quick, and then we'll leave it at
Yeah.
this. I'm going to tell you right now that I love you, and I think
Love you
fondly
too,
of you.
Charlie. Thanks for covering all this. It's really important.
Yeah, well, you're the queen bee. You are. I mean, and you silently.
I'm really
and,
not
no,
on
wait.
this
Let me
issue.
finish. You did the work at the beginning. You helped establish this fund, and then over the years, you quietly.
No, I didn't.
A little bit. I
didn't
know
do
you.
that.
Hey, I know you did. I know you did. But you've quietly gone back to your own life. You didn't turn this into anything. You're writing books.
No.
You do what you do. You lecture. Make if you would, if you feel like it, give a statement to the Senator McConnell, if he's listening. And try to
I don't know
do
if
it dignified.
your animal is appropriate.
Tell him he needs to do it.
It's a podcast. You can swear if you need to.
Yeah, I guess you want to call him a motherfucker.
I love podcast. You're a dick, Mitch McConnell. Stop kissing Trump's ass and do the right thing.
And that's Staten Island. You're right.
Amen.
All right, Marion, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. And
Thanks, Mary.
if I lived in Detroit, I would date your podcast partner.
Oh, yeah, well, anytime. And by the way, Karen's my podcast partner.
I was going to say, I don't.
Ooh,
I
cat
don't
fight.
go that way, Mary.
However, the guy who's going to
I know, Joe. Well, be careful
I'd love to
be
meet
careful about what you say. But you know what? Maybe one day you'd come and join us. I'd love to meet you. I'm extremely touched by your story and your strength. So best wishes.
Thank you for having me.
To you
and I
your
have to
son.
listen. You guys sound great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for including me. I appreciate it.
All right, kid.
All right.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh.
That's crazy, Charlie. That's crazy.
Just fund it. Yeah, there's so much to talk about, but I won't.
Okay.
It's just, I'll tell you one story, okay? There was a photographer. It's ground zero, day 2. It's
9/13?
9/12.
9/12, day after.
Yeah, and everybody's swarming down there, and you got to have a badge, and the press is still able to get in there. And I recognize him. He's from a rival paper. He goes, hey, dude, LeDuff, come here. And there's a traffic cone. And he lifts up the cone for me to look. And underneath it is a hand.
Oh, God.
And he puts the cone back, and I look at him, I go, what the fuck are you doing? What are you waiting for the golden hour of light? Sun setting on that perfectly for you to get the right shot? And you know what? Because there was a lot of ruin porn that came on 9/11.
Sure.
That fucking thing was in a East Village gallery not 3 months later. That
traffic
picture,
cone?
I don't know
Oh,
who'd
the
even
picture.
hang that picture.
Oh, my God.
See, that's not cool. I mean, I understand art, I understand politics, I understand journalism, but you do not exploit human struggle, human pain,
Human suffering.
human suffering. You just don't do that. That's not what you're supposed to do.
So before we go to our sponsors again, Construction Services. It's a nice segue. Let me give my respect and my love to the working men and women of this country, Because honest to God, what I saw there was the iron workers on the night of 9/11. They went into Brooks Brothers because it was cold as fuck. And they took the camel hair trench coats and the fedoras. They were wearing that shit. And they're taking torches to the iron. They're looking for people. This shit's molten, right? And they're up on this pile trying to get in there. I'm seeing Teamsters get in there. I'm seeing you wrote your phone number on your arm in marker and your blood type on your other arm in case you fell through and they found you when you were dead. So they would know who you were. Thousands of people came to do the work, right? Way more regular people than those wearing the badge.
Nobody wearing suits.
No. You know, I once wrote that too. I forget the zip codes, but there was Long Island, which is 516. There was Queens and Brooklyn, which was 718. I didn't see any Manhattan. I didn't see
no 202s.
I didn't see 212. I didn't see it.
That's the disconnect, Charlie.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, that's the love. And John Stewart can talk for the emergency workers. I love them. They taught me. You see them close to them. But I got love for the working people. That's where I'm from. This is their fun, too. My voice goes like this. I'm a smoker. I'm old. You know what I mean? I drink. I don't know. But sometimes I feel like I'm getting sick. Maybe it's from it. But it's been proven.
It has been.
So fund the shit, you dick. And I got nothing to say about Trump. It's you, McConnell. Fund the shit.
Well, and Marion hit on it. No, nobody wants it.
Yeah, that's not the kind of money you want.
No, nobody wants that money. You'd rather not have it and have it never have happened.
Yeah.
But it did fucking happen.
Yeah.
And you know, take care of these people. There are people who are Americans. Take care of them.
I'll pay for that.
You're damn right.
We found lots of money to throw at Forever Wars. Look, I was on that pile. I want who did this. And not the head of the Teamsters. That, you know, like, that's who I covered. Let's go get this fuck. Okay, so we're going to go to Afghanistan. And now we're in Axis of Evilville. We're in Iraq. What are we doing? And again, we're calling on the working people to go do that.
Could go do it, exactly.
And
and now we're throwing stones at Iran. The fuck
maybe they're throwing them back. I don't know.
Yeah.
History will tell. But before, hey, watch. Now I won't get into it. That's maybe next week we're talking about Iran. But at least Trump took his finger off the trigger. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Reasonable so far.
We'll see.
We'll see. ADR Consultants, Barry Ellentuck, the proprietor of ADR, from why are you doing money for this? ADR Consultants.
Nice song.
Because he saves you money.
He saves his money.
He's a good Jersey guy. He's from Jersey. ADR Consultants providing full business construction management and IT consulting services for your company, and your country, municipality, and law enforcement agency. ADR experienced overseeing more than $250 million in private and public construction projects since 2001. You need to reduce costs. You need to re-engineer processes or find better vendors. ADR has saved clients millions. ADR consultants are experts in procurement, compliance, and minority participation. Honest, ethical, smart. Call Barry Ellentuck at 248-318-9424 for a consultation. Get the job done right, on time, on budget. ADR Consultants, 248-318-9424. Barry Ellentuck, a thinking working man.
Get the job done.
Hall Financial. David Hall took a chance on my brother Drew Lane and his Drew and Mike podcast a couple years ago. And that's led to many of Drew's listeners saving money on their mortgages and refinancing. Now Hall Financial's putting his efforts,
expertise,
his dough,
his support
behind the No Bullshit News Hour. So thanks, David. Hall Financial offers lower rates, better options, and that personal attention you want when talking about your home. The average refi takes 44 days. Everybody's moving now. Everybody's moving. The market's moving. Know that Hall Financial averages 19 days.
19.
Do the math. That's half the time. Get it done now. You know, if you're really thinking about it, call Hall. Tell them LeDuff sent you, or Dumas, or Shadowbauer, or Joey the Mannequin. Oh, he smiled.
Or Chicken Joe.
Chicken Joe. Listen, if you're going to move now. Email D Hall at dhallfg.com. dhall@hallfg.com to get the paper moving, or call 248-308-5000. Or maybe you just want to take equity out of your home or shorten the length of your mortgage, making your moves. The world economy softening.
It
is. There's no doubt. Make your move. You could be less than 3 weeks from saving on money you're going to need in the future with Hall Financial. Email dhall@hallfg.com or call 248-308-5000. Tell them you heard on the No BS News. NMLS number 1467435. Hall Financial. You won't be disappointed. Whoa!
And you make some money.
I'm telling you, I don't know.
That's the name of the game.
Went out with that psychiatrist today, the guy that donated to charity. He likes the show. I don't know if people like the show, but we're trying to give you no bullshit. We're doing best we can.
I think people like the show, Charlie. I think people love the show. I mean, I've gone a couple places, and, I don't think anybody knows who I am. But, oh, my God, I love the podcast. Charlie's, tell them I love it. So people are listening. They do like it. And I do think people want to know the truth. I think people have just a limited tolerance for the entertainment value in news that they get today. They want to know what's going on. And right now, they're not getting any clue or inkling of the reality that we're dealing with. You talked about the softening economy. I mean, we don't have the conversations that we need to have, to make people prepared for what's going on. So I do think people appreciate it, and I appreciate being a part of it.
Yeah, well, shit.
They want to know what the truth is.
And you know what? Remember when we said 2 weeks ago that we got word there's a 7-figure settlement with Quicken Loan?
And it did.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
I hear Dan Gilbert's not doing so well.
He just got out of the hospital.
I know, but
that's what the newspaper said. But
really?
But I know people in the hospital. I don't think he was there for a while.
Yeah,
he's convalescing, recuperating, rejuvenating someplace else.
I mean, I certainly wish him well.
Oh yeah.
But the reality from I hear he's not well.
He's not well.
Oh, listen, I think also from last week, Deborah Reynolds, the missing woman last seen with the serial killer in Detroit, right. D'Angelo Martin, might have found her. I got a time board, Bob. Thanks. I went to a house near the gas station where Ferndale police dropped him back into Detroit.
Right.
Talked to the neighbor. Said that shitbag used to stay at that house, that abandoned house. Went in there, shooting gallery, needles, petroleum jelly.
Wow.
They found a body of a middle-aged black woman there in December.
Wow.
They don't know how she died or, who she is because she was decomposing. But that prayer might have worked.
You need dental records.
They're doing it now.
Okay. Yeah.
So there you go. Again, and here, real quick before we go to the border.
So that would be a fourth, right?
Well, no, they don't. No, they don't.
Well, they don't know.
They don't got them tied to anybody yet.
Oh.
Do they?
No.
Now, at least publicly, they say they have DNA, but
we don't know.
I haven't heard it, but we're going to find out if that's Deborah Reynolds, the missing woman.
Right.
That's a little sleuthing I did this week, and I got the footage from the squad car, the Ferndale police, when they're dropping alleged serial killer D'Angelo Martin off. Here, want to play a little bit, right? That's him in the car.
What's your first name? D'Angelo?
That's the cop.
First name is D'Angelo?
Yeah.
Wow. And they dropped him off?
Yeah, and her. Right near that red house.
So it's that whole thing. And at some point, it would be great to find out is that protocol? Like, what do you do? What are you following when somebody's clearly, that doesn't even sound right.
How about the Detroit police?
No, it doesn't.
Detroit police never followed up with the Ferndale police.
Just dropping them off.
After they got a missing persons report. Because an adult, you're not really looking for them, right? You're an adult. You move freely. You have to be demented. You have to be a child. They don't go looking. But, had you.
Well, wasn't there a missing persons report in Ferndale?
Yeah, but they don't usually look for adults.
That should change.
We don't got enough cops.
I know.
But if somebody goes to the length of making a report.
That you might just say, last seen in Ferndale, call Ferndale, right? He was ticketed, last seen with this guy. Yeah, that's an easy lead. Seems to me. Now watch this real quick, and then we'll move on. The neighbor at that red house where Shitbag was staying, where they found the body of the woman, said they started smelling stuff in August when she went missing. And it increasingly got worse. So it was so bad in October, he waved the cop down and goes, I think there's a body in there. He goes, call us, the cop said to the neighbor, call us in the winter when it's cold because we have to sit there in that stink and babysit the coroner all day.
Oh, my God.
So opportunity missed.
Wow.
6 months ago.
So, like, not enough money.
Yeah.
When Jon Stewart's telling McConnell, hey, how would you like it if they show up late when you call emergency and they don't bring enough guys? I'm like, we live that every day here.
Yeah.
Anyway, to the next guy wearing a badge, Chris Cabrera, National Border Patrol Council. You there, Chrissy?
I'm here.
What up, brother?
How's it going, my friend?
Well, you've been listening, man. I'm all uptight. But you're a man on the border. You're the no bullshit news hours man on the border. Should I set this up, Chris? What the fuck? Look.
Yeah, it goes just back what you were saying with Jon Stewart. These congressmen and women, they're not doing their job.
I'm going to ask you what they're not doing, but let's put this in perspective. We had a record number of people in May come over the border, right?
Yeah.
We got 130,000, apprehensions of people?
Yeah, almost 150. I think 149 is a change.
150,000 in May alone.
Uh-huh.
Fuck.
Wow.
11,000 of those are kids.
Yeah. And a lot of those kids are being recycled through the system.
Oh, 11,000 of those are kids by themselves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of kids by themselves. Just the other day, a friend of mine sent me a picture. You know him well. You met him when you were down there last time with the guy in the jet ski. Yeah, Albert.
Oh, Albert, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there's pictures out there. Or not pictures. He was out there, and there was a 4-year-old girl that was in a group, but she was alone.
Bro.
We see it quite a bit. 7-year-olds, 5-year-olds. We've even seen kids that aren't even walking yet. They're in a child carrier in those little car seats that you carry, and the smuggler gets tired of carrying it, so he just leaves it there in the woods.
The kid.
We see that quite a bit, and Congress is too busy fighting with each other over nonsense. Granted, I guess it's important on some level, but you got to prioritize. And we got kids that are dying out here. We got women and men that are getting sexually assaulted out here. We don't have any coverage on the border. There was a couple of days last month where my station, not my sector, my station alone had over 2,000 in a 24-hour period.
Whoa!
Yeah, just that. And, people say, wow, El Paso had a record day of 1,000, which is great. I mean, that they're getting attention. But we see that in the evening shift. And that's just at one station.
How do you deal with that, though?
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, you guys are overwhelmed.
We're not equipped to. We're not equipped. We have very few people in the field. We probably have the same number, if not greater, eluding detection because they're pushing these groups of people turning themselves in. And then on the left and right flank, they're throwing groups at us of people that are trying to get away and are getting away because we don't have any manpower out there to stop it.
You also, am I correct? You had a record. You're having record numbers of Africans.
Yes.
What about Asians?
Well, we get them from everywhere. I mean, we had some Romanians the other day. We see a lot of Cubans, which aren't typical in our part of the country. We have people from Bangladesh, which is quite common. China, you name it.
Everyone knows the gig's up, right? Everybody's getting on a plane and trying.
And that's the thing is with the Border Patrol, we're not set up for this. We're set up to quickly process, in a couple hours and send them back. My station holds 345. According to the fire marshal, we got sometimes 1,800 to 2,000 people in there.
So what are you doing with them?
Well, we're trying to process them as quickly as possible, but what we're doing is we're getting very, very proficient at getting people in and out the door and releasing them into the country.
Oh, dude, this is bullshit. This is, I know what you're going to say about Congress. It's like, if you want us to maintain the border, you got to put resources. Is that what you're saying?
Well, not even that. Tell me what you need. All they got to do, they need to get in there and fix this loophole.
What loophole?
That's the bottom line. the catch and release. These people are coming in, and for instance, if you had Bank of America down the street from me saying, hey, anybody that shows up today, we're giving them $5,000 cash, you'd have a line around the block. And that line is going to stop once they say, hey, you know what? We're out of money. Sorry, door's closed. Then it stops. Right now, we have that line, but there's no end in sight. They're not coming in and saying, okay, this is what we're going to do to address the asylum issue. We're going to put these asylum officers on the front end or these judges on the front end instead of taking advantage of the fact that the wait is 4, 5, 6 years long and they can just disappear into the country.
But isn't that Trump administration's already doing that, right? Repatriating, for lack of a better word. They're taking the Central Americans and the Mexicans are taking them and they're waiting for their hearing while being in Mexico, right?
Well, those are the ones that are coming through the port of entry because they haven't made an entry yet. But the ones that are coming through the river or the border illegally, that doesn't apply to them.
They're not waiting.
And they know that.
So, hey, Chris, this is Karen. So what's your version of saying the money doesn't exist anymore? I mean, what is it that can be said or done that would turn away people who are coming across the river, who are not coming through a legitimate or a validated point of entry? What is it?
You have to get these immigration asylum officers and the immigration judges are on the back end of this process. And the courts are log jammed 4, 5, 6 years deep. Now, if you're waiting 5 years or 5 years and 6 months, not a big issue, at least, in the grand scheme of things. So bring these asylum officers and these judges either down to where we're at, sit them next to us, or teleconference them in. And right away when somebody says, I have a claim of asylum, vet them right there on the spot. Okay, you know what? You have a valid claim. You do not. The ones that may have something, you're in Group A. The ones that
expedite leave it to one, right? Yeah. Leave it to one person to make the decision is what you're saying.
Yeah, and on the front end, not 6 years later.
Okay, watch this, Chris. What do you make of this? Okay, so what you're saying is we need a safe third country agreement.
Yeah, like we have with Canada.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because guess what's happening with Canada? Oh, Canada. What? Canada, ladies and gentlemen listening, the United States has a treaty with Canada. Just like here, if a refugee in the United from a third country, right, non-American, goes to the Canadian port of entry, right, and wants to have refugee status there, America has to take them back, and then the process begins. Just like Chris is saying right now with the Mexicans are now for the first time doing. But Canada wants to renegotiate it because there's a loophole. And you know what the loophole is? What? If you don't cross over at the official area, and you jump the border, then you're in and you get a hearing and you remain in the country. Just like us with Mexico. Canada wants to renegotiate this because, now get the irony here, Chris, they're having trouble on their southern border.
Yeah. Duh.
They feel overwhelmed. Trudeau has to back off because he famously said, we'll take everybody. Now it's going to backfire. So why don't we do this, Cabrera? Why don't we have a NAFTA-like conference on immigration?
I agree, and something needs to be done. And instead, I know a lot of people have different views of the president and tax returns. So
we're talking about fucking Trump today. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but what I'm getting at here is, Congress can easily fix this problem, but they're prioritizing wrong. You know what? You can get to that in a couple months or whatever, but put stuff in order. Put stuff in order. Let's get to the big stuff first, and then we'll trickle down to the other stuff. If they think it's that important, great. But right now, you got a job to do. Get it done. And then they're over here trying to give themselves a raise for what? You haven't done anything. I think they shouldn't pay them at all. Do that job for free. If you really like the job, do it for free, and we'll see how long people stick around.
Nobody does a job they really like for free.
Then I don't know. I know our state legislators here in Texas get very minimal. I think they get like $18,000-$20,000 allowance.
I was going to say that's a paycheck, though.
Yeah, but they convene like every other year or some shit, don't they?
Yeah. Well, you know what? With our Congress now, when do they convene? They don't do shit anyway. And I think that's the problem. And it's not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. It's too widespread. They're like little gangs up there. They're fighting over stuff just because so and so said so. Well, that's what I got to say. And you know what? Now, vote your conscience in there. And kids are dying down here, regardless of what side of the immigration you debate on, the immigration debate you're on. I think everybody agrees that kids shouldn't have to be caught up in the middle of this. No kid should be caught up in the middle of this.
What does the implosion of this whole thing look like? I mean, it can't sustain itself at this rate. I mean, what does the implosion look like?
You're looking at it right now. I mean, the people are saying the immigration system's going to break. No, it broke. It's been broke.
Wow.
Hey,
by the way, we have nobody in the field guarding it. I mean, very few. We're lucky if we're severely understrength, because there's some places we don't have anybody.
Dude, you got to be cool because the cartel listens to this show, and you're giving away secret information that the cartel already knows.
Well, my name is Susan.
I'll get Internal Affairs calling me in here pretty soon.
Well, you know what's fucked up to me, Chris, is like it's supposed to be slow season now because the temperature went way up. They're not supposed to be 100,000, 200,000.
A month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, like May, it's died. June, no go. July, fuck no.
But that's not the way it's trending.
That's 125 out there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Everybody is done till the second week of January. This is a slow season. It's supposed to be, but it's not because there's a loophole. They know eventually it's going to close, but right now you got to get while the getting's good, and then they're getting it.
God bless you, man. Here's our last thing, Chris. Thanks. We're going to, stay in touch with you. Next week's news today. Trump, letting it be known that there are going to be mass immigration arrests.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially the removal of millions of illegal aliens starting next week, maybe. Look, I know you support the guy because, he's tough on the border and all that. Do we have any room anywhere in this country to hold like 100,000 abuelas and abuelos?
That's the way I see it is old people that don't, and this is just my views. This is not the council or the patrol or anybody. If you got folks that are in here working hard, doing the right thing, no criminal history, you come in, hey, you know what, you're here illegally, pay your fine, and, get on down the road. But if you got, criminal history, if you got all kinds of, just a shit record, well, we got enough of those homegrown people. We don't need to import anymore. And if you've been here for 20 years or 30 years and I have roots in the community, well, why didn't you start the process before you got caught?
Wait.
Go ahead.
What do you think we should do with the people who've been here 20, 30 years and they've never been a problem? Do you think we should toss them or leave them alone?
Personally, and
yes,
again, like I said, this is not to use it. They'll get upset about it, but I think if you've been here, you've never had any problems, pay your fines like anything but somebody who was trying to do it the legal way. Get up to par on that and go on about your business.
Goddamn.
You've been here that long. Yeah.
I vote for you, dude, because that's reasonable. But the shitheads, right?
But people that have 7 or 8 DUIs or crimes against children, anything.
Any felony.
Parking tickets, parking tickets, not an option.
Forget parking
tickets. Even domestic abuse, even misdemeanor, hey, you got to go. But we need, this country is built on hardworking people, but people who was also built on laws. Follow the law. Let's go. Let's make
agree,
the country
dude.
a better place.
And you know what else? I think, like if you've been issued deported or you've been deported and you re-entered and it was a violent felony, you got 10 years. You got 10 years solid in the new immigration prisons we're going to build.
Mm-hmm.
You put 1,000 guys in there and the message is going to get sent.
Either that or we get, you want to give us one of your criminals, we'll give you one of ours. 1-for-1 swap. No, we got enough shitheads in the country. We don't need to bring any more.
That's something else I'm tired of people saying.
We need hard workers. America always has a place for a hard worker.
I forgot what I was going to ask.
Well, and if I couldn't agree more. I mean, if they've been here for a long time and haven't been a problem, let them stay.
Okay,
that's what America's about.
Okay,
We're
super liberal. The super conservative guy on the phone does the work. He made the gesture of this. Leave him alone. And you agree with that?
I completely agree with that.
Do you agree with his estimation of what needs to go on the border that is broken and you got to stem that flow?
Well, you do. And I think part of the way you change that is you increase your foreign aid to countries like the Guatemala so the people don't have the incentive to leave.
Wait a minute. That's not going to get it. We already do that. The oligarchy steals it. So,
well,
real quick, Charlie, let me get in on this. You know what I think is if we send so much money to Guatemala, say nice round number, $500 million, and we get every Guatemalan that comes in costs us X amount of dollars, deduct that from the foreign aid and say, hey, here's at the end of the year, hey, here's your $73. We had to deduct everything that your folks cost us.
That's not going to. It doesn't mean anything to the poor guy.
Well,
you
you're
start
right,
hitting
though.
people in their pocketbook, they start to think about it.
But the oligarchy steals it before they get it.
You guys are
But then
veering
why
into
should we
the
sell it to them if the
cockamamie.
oligarchy is going to steal it?
You guys are veering into the cockamamie. What we really need is a holistic approach from the government about you repatriate the people that are apprehended that came from your side. Boom, 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 boom.
And you know, the only way it can work is if we stop the flow first. Once we stop the flow and we secure it, then we can start figuring out what to do once people are inside. But you have to stop that flow with anything. If you have your sink's overflowing, you got to turn off the water. You're not just going to start mopping because it's going to continue to flow.
Are you getting to the build the wall thing?
Yeah, not just build. I mean, that's not the answer to everything. It's part of the toolbox, but you know, part of it is the manpower, the infrastructure, the technology. There's a lot to go along changing the laws. If people think these laws are racist, well, change the law. You have the ability as a congressman or woman to change the law instead of just yelling race. To me, that's just an argument where you're out of ideas, so you're just going to throw, oh, it's racist. Well, it's your law. You know, I don't make the law. I just enforce what you tell me to. So, you know, once we seal it, once we stop the flow or at least get it manageable, then we can deal with what's inside now.
Well, that's the question.
I just want quickly, Chris, how are you briefed on, you know, because we, from our perspective, things change. The president may say something one day, it's different. How are you briefed on, you know, changes that are being proposed and changes that are being implemented as it relates to your job?
You know, they don't give us any information. Well, they give us it's very sporadic, but we don't get anything until it's done because they know and we know if it's proposed, it's probably not going to happen. So we just hold off until it's a done deal, and they say, "Hey, this is what is, not what's going to be. This is what is, and this is what you go do."
They don't want to get your hopes up. All right, that's fair enough.
Hey, Cabrera.
Yes, sir.
Your job sucks.
But it's like being a kid again. It's like I'm playing hide and go seek, but I'm always it. It's a good job.
Would you do it for free?
Oh,
you know what? I don't know if I'd do it for free, but I probably would do it for far less.
Well, we won't let anybody hear that either.
Now I got a solution to get more technology, more foreign aid. We take it from the Border Patrol agents.
No. I was just trying to get a level of, you know, his love and commitment based on our earlier conversation.
You know what?
You're getting in trouble.
I can tell you real quick. I've had offers to go to other agencies. I've had offers to marshals. I've had offers to various agencies, and I've turned them down because I love this job.
You said you were going to come up here because, you know, we're on the border as well.
I would love to go up there, but I don't think my wife would like the winters too much.
Yeah, but she can't like the summers down there.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, summer down here is hot, but winter down here, winter for us is like 45 degrees.
That's cold.
That's the height of our summer.
I know. That's what it is today.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for that update, man. And, you know, keep in touch. Let us know what's happening.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm a big fan of you guys' show, and anything you ever need from me, either on air or off, you give me a holler, and I'll get it to you.
And Karen doesn't believe me. I said, Chris is like, you're his favorite. He thinks you're really smart. Isn't that true, Chris?
I know the first time we talked, I don't know if you really kind of thought I was full of crap or what, but I had a great time talking with you. I mean, because you see things from a different perspective. And that's the beauty of it.
Well, I appreciate it.
Everybody sees things, and to have an intelligent conversation, that's what it's all about.
Well, I appreciate that. That's why I'm here, because Charlie and I have a balance, you know. So I really appreciate that. And we're fans of yours as too, Chris, so it's mutual.
Well, I appreciate that. And next time Charlie comes down, make him bring you along, and I'll show you down here the river and the good food spots.
All right, that's a deal. We'll do that. I was in Guatemala not too long ago. I went over from Belize. So, you know, that was very interesting to go just through that whole process. So, yeah, we'll do that. I appreciate that, Chris.
Let's give a little shout out, Chris. What's the name of that cantina right there on the border next to the wall in McAllen there? It's tucked in the back there.
It's called Joe's something, or I can't remember the name of it.
Remember that place, Bob?
Name escapes. Yeah, I remember that place.
Oh, that place
was
is
a good
like
place.
that place is tight, and you can't find that.
No.
Yeah.
That's local.
It's a date.
There you go, Chris. It's a day.
We'll see you guys.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks, Chris. Be careful.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And speaking of seeing, that's just amazing.
These transitions.
LASIK is one of the safest surgeries in all of medicine and has changed the lives of millions of people by allowing them to get 20/20 vision or better without the hassle and poorer performance of glasses and contacts. It's about freedom and lifestyle. And Dr. Yaldo, our loyal Red Shovel Studio sponsor, is the #1 LASIK surgeon in Michigan. An incredible 30,000 plus people have trusted their eyes to him. And the majority have actually gotten better results than they'd hoped for. It's because his cat's custom LASIK is the world's most precise, and most patients get better than 20/20 vision, called supernormal vision. It only takes a few minutes, it's painless, and you'll get to throw out all those contacts and glasses in the garbage. His multifocal lens implants for people 45 plus frees you forever from your hated reading glasses, gives you precise far vision, and will prevent cataracts from ever forming. You've got nothing to lose by seeing Dr. Yaldo for a free evaluation. Tell him LeDuff and the No BS News Hour sent you, and you'll also save $1,500 or more if that procedure is right for you and if you want it. But come get a checkup. 1-800-398-EYES, 1-800-398-EYES, or go to YaldoEyeCenter.com. Joe is going next Thursday.
Is he an optometrist or an ophthalmologist?
He's an ophthalmologist.
I may need to go. My right eye is like, I can't.
Yeah, you're rubbing it today. You keep saying you were going to. Look.
I know. I am. And I'm seeing light, like, out of the, I keep thinking paparazzi is following, but it's not that.
Let me explain Dr. Yaldo to you. He's an ophthalmologist. Mm-hmm. They check your eyes. They check for glaucoma. They do everything an eye doctor does.
I may go.
They're not hard selling you. You should go. They also have a great boutique of, eye frame or glass frames. They get your prescription. We're going to get Joe looking like Harry Carey. Joe can't afford LASIK.
That's just how good Yaldo is.
Joe doesn't have insurance, but right. Joe needs some new glass.
Okay.
My daughter, they do pediatrics.
Oh, really?
Take your children there. They're not doing LASIK on them.
Good.
But this is, over the long term, short term, you want LASIK, you want glasses.
Okay.
Joe's going. Speaking of Joe.
Got to get him a
Got
date.
Jer? Yep. Okay, Chicken Joe. We sent Chicken Joe to the ethics board hearing of Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, accused of hooking up his family, his friends, on people who lost their homes to
foreclosure.
Tax foreclosure, right. Now, on the phone is the expert on tax foreclosure and property that I know of in the state of Michigan, Jerry Paffendorf, the CEO of Loveland Technologies. You there, Jer?
I'm here. Hey, everybody. Hey Charlie.
Jerry.
Hey, Karen.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, guys.
So real quick, Jer, just on the meeting itself, the treasurer's attorney would not provide proof that the treasurer's wife had received a foreclosure notice on one of her income houses?
Yeah, there's a bunch of interesting stuff that happened. Just for those who are following this, July 10th, it's all going to come to a resolution. So we'll see what happens. The ethics board has been having monthly meetings for the last few months about this issue, seeing if there were any conflicts of interest with how the treasurer, his employees and his family were participating in the auction that they run against county rules. So one of the things that happened towards the end, one of the complaints being investigated is whether or not the treasurer's wife owned a property that should have been foreclosed on and was not foreclosed on by the office. And the treasurer said that it was a mistake. It wasn't foreclosed on. And so the ethics board is trying to investigate if that's actually the case, or if processes are set up in such a way where somebody working in the office might be able to go, hey, we know that person, just don't foreclose on their home. And so what they were trying to figure out was apparently there were $24,000 in back taxes that were owed on a property that she owned. When Christine McDonald at the Detroit News reached out to the treasurer about this, the next day the taxes on that property were paid. But he said he didn't have any interaction with his wife, that she just decided to pay it herself. And
we'll cut it short there. The son's also like the alleged straw buyer for another guy, and what's the deed wizard? What's that?
Yeah, that's right. So the ethics board asked if they could receive proof that his wife had received a foreclosure notice, and Sabri's attorney cut it off that they wouldn't provide that because They've been providing a lot of documentation already, and at this point, they believe the process is over. So anything that wasn't already asked for doesn't need to be provided.
They're just tired.
And then the other dimension on this, so they're trying to look at how the treasurer's son participated in the auction over time. It's known that he has bought properties at the auction.
Is this getting much media coverage?
I would not
yes or no.
say a lot. No, I mean, no. Christine McDonald has written some pieces because her articles were the impetus for the review for the complaint by Warren Evans. So she's been there. She's written a couple short things. Chicken Joe has been following it diligently and adding a lot of charisma to the proceedings.
Chicken Joe. Look, we have a little bit of Chicken Joe here. We have a little bit of Chicken Joe. Let's play this, and then you give him a grade, all right, Jer?
Yep.
All right, go ahead, bud.
Good morning. Good morning. I know. I knew you were going to feed me chicken.
Yeah.
I have to that day.
Yeah, Sabri was not happy when he saw this chicken. At first he was. He thought, oh, cool, a chicken. Until the chicken chased him through the parking garage. Right?
No bullshit news, huh?
Right. Mr. Sabri, Antoinette Coleman entered into a payment agreement on her mom's house and her house, and she faithfully made all the payments.
I'm going to call. I tell you what, I'm
Who's
going
he
to
talking
have
to?
to have
His
somebody
lawyer?
intervene. I can't
Look,
talk to him. We're on a 5-minute break, and I have work to do.
So this lady lost her house because she made all her payments, and the people at his office applied the payment to the wrong property. So can you make her whole? What can you do to make her whole on this? She made all her payments in full and on time, and the treasurer's office applied the payment to the wrong property, and she lost her house. How's that her fault? Is there any way you guys can make her whole on that?
No, don't. Just don't do it. Don't go there, Eric. Don't make a mistake.
That's just the lawyer.
Come on,
Lawyer's telling Sabrina not to talk to Chicken Joe. Don't make a mistake.
Switch seats.
Switch seats. Joe's going to peck your eyes out.
Listen, my client is coming to sit.
Jeff said you didn't feel like you were treated fairly. So, just wondering, what about this process has been unfair to you?
I will not talk to you.
Okay, sir.
That's Sabri?
Yes, sir.
Sabri. We understand that you're with the media, but we do want to conduct this business fairly with everyone.
This is not a circus, so even that shouldn't be allowed. That was disrespectful, not just to Mr. Sabri, but it was disrespectful to me as a resident. It was disrespectful to all of you who are esteemed members of this board. That's why the media gets a bad name because of stuff like that. Well, then, if there aren't any rules in place,
hallway?
we need to create those rules because that was outrageous.
What was that?
Mr. Thomas, just real briefly.
No, listen,
What do you think was
I'm
unfair?
not talking to you. Well,
You said it was
I'll
unfair.
address
What's
it.
unfair?
I'll address it at the next hearing. Please.
At the next hearing, why can't we know now why you think it was unfair?
Leave us alone.
Yes.
Leave us alone. Get on another elevator. Leave us alone.
I mean, you said the hearing was unfair.
Joe,
You
just
wanna know
stirring
why you
it
think
up.
was unfair. It's a fair question.
Stirring it up.
Isn't it?
Who are these people?
Well, Sabri was the one yammering.
And his
His
lawyer.
attorney.
And his lawyer.
I don't know who the woman.
Now, yeah, that's what I'm interested
The woman is like one of the people, sounds like a friend of Sabri's, but one of the people at the hearing. Jer, were you there for that?
No, I think I was trying to make that all out for the phone connection. It sounded like it happened during there was a brief intermission towards the end of the day. The meeting went. I might be off by a little bit, but probably it was a little over 2 hours, I think. And during this break, I think Joe went into the room where Eric Sabri was sitting down with his attorney and asked some questions, and it sounds like it led to a little bit of a dust-up. I don't know.
A publicly owned room. I know it's right next to the hearing room.
Yeah.
It's actually the reporter's room. It's not a conference room.
Okay.
And so they're getting bent out of shape because Joe's asking the questions. The media should be asking. Joe is the media. Do you hear him? He's the cock of the walk, Jerry. What grade do you give him?
No, it's interesting. You're right. There could have been more press there other than Joe and Christine. But
I'm asking about Joe, Jerry.
Wait, what was the question there about Joe, Charlie?
Give him a grade, man. Give him for tenacity, for clarity, for
a great
haberdashery.
Well, you know how different school systems, like if you go to there's not a homeschool, but a different school setup. They don't always use the A through F scale. They grade on different kinds of special talents. Yes. I think that would be the scale that Joe is on. Would get a marvelous for his total commitment and engagement and presence that he has there. So it's a special scale. I would give him an A in general, but yeah, because
Joe's always been on a special scale.
Takes the special bus to school.
What's great about Joe as a presence is the sort of the delightful cognitive dissonance from seeing someone in the ridiculous suit whose face is so serious and who's so fearless. People do obviously do the double take where they're like, wait a minute, do we have a totally crazy person here, or does a restaurant have a sale? What's happening? But,
the people deserve answers, Jerry. And you ran some numbers for me, and
sure.
Let's not do the ancient history of this tsunami of foreclosures on people. Today, right now in Detroit, today, 14,000 families are in jeopardy of losing their homes to tax foreclosure alone. Correct?
Yeah, you've got to count in the properties that are on payment plans that haven't paid off everything they need to yet. In addition to the properties that haven't just paid anything. I hate that the numbers get so complicated in these different categories and striations, especially when the Treasurer's office isn't clear on who they're actually going to foreclose on or not. It's so opaque. So there are all these families, the 14,000, the thousands that are at risk. And by the time it gets to the auction in September, they'll probably winnow that down to a smaller number.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it hard to say, because there's really no formal process to it at this point.
Where it's a huge problem.
I think so, because nobody right now really cares about this aspect of it, which is how is this actually being conducted.
All right. Let's keep it short. Look, let's do this. Yeah. No, let's do this. It's opaque. The public's not aware of it. Lots of people have been harmed by it, and the point of talking about the Treasurer is it appears as though family and friends are profiting from it when they're not supposed to be. Yes?
That's correct. Not being foreclosed, potentially having special access to information, being able to make decisions over what goes into the auction or not. And those are all incredibly valid concerns. And what the Ethics Board is hearing is an unfortunately very narrow slice of that, looking at a particular couple of instances that represent much larger trespasses. And the board is trying to get their head around it all, going, we understand that there are more things that are going wrong with this, but really what is our mandate? Is it our mandate to look at all of that? Or is it our mandate to try to pin the tail on these two very narrow donkeys right here, where we're being faced with a bunch of stuff about it wasn't me, it was my LLC.
Okay.
It wasn't done consciously, it was done accidentally. And what can they resolve knowing their constraints?
We're going to find out. You'll see Chicken Joe. Thanks for hanging, Jared. Appreciate it.
No, of course. Corey, can I pitch this for Chicken Joe though too? Because we had an idea the other night.
Keep it tight.
When he shows up in the chicken outfit with his camera and his microphone, I think he might have room to market the Chicken Joe transparent reporter animal costume, where the suit comes with the camera built in and the microphone built in. And whenever you see the chicken coming, this stuff's going to be documented and recorded. I think he might be able to franchise himself, Charlie. Is what I'm saying. So, Joe, keep it in mind, man. We can work on the design.
Look at Jerry.
I was going to trademark that.
Jerry's like the nutty professor of this shit. And
I like where your head's at.
Joe's like Buddy Love. All right, thanks, Jerry.
All right, thank you all.
Thanks,
Joe. Bye, Charlie. Bye, Karen.
Right.
See you guys.
Bye. Take care.
All right, that's any last thoughts, guys?
Just,
announcements?
It just sometimes feels like the world is unraveling. It's like, it's not that complicated to do right. It's not that complicated to be right.
To not rip people off.
That's what I'm saying. It's just not that complicated.
God damn right. Goddamn right.
Well,
Goddamn right.
And I would just agree with Karen. I think Joe's doing a phenomenal job. He's getting better. He really is.
He is.
He's going to trademark that suit and make a ton of money, and we're going to
Yeah.
still be here on the lower level.
And we're doing coffee cups.
Right. With Joe on the chicken suit.
Oh, wait a minute. What did you... Hold on. I got a little breaking news here. New initiative announced by your favorite, Chief Slippin' Jimmy Craig here. Hold on. Dee, Bob. Thank you. Good drop. Good drop there. It is.
Charlie, you got to remember, you have to follow the directive of the person that you report to.
Oh,
you do.
God.
I'm just telling you. So
Okay.
Go ahead. What
Chief
is
of
it?
Police's new initiative to stop the summer violence. Check yourself.
Yeah.
That's right. You out there, before you think about doing violence, check yourself. He had a press conference today. Check yourself. Put out the fan, a bowl of ice cubes, put on some smooth jazz, and check yourself. Before you think about pulling out that gun, have a cold one. Check yourself.
Quality advice.
Yeah, okay, all right, Detroit. Listen, America, love you. Try to love one another. And if you can't find that, just remember to check yourself. Jesus, check you. Damn it. Okay, man, let's go out with this. No white stripes without the gories. Ladies and gentlemen, America's best punk band, the Gories out of Detroit, Michigan.